thing that I want to start with is that I want to propose an approach of developing working methods between technologists and artists, which on the one hand is an interdisciplinary method, okay, an idea of working from different places, whether that's technology or not. So some general principles of interdisciplinary collaboration would apply to that, but then maybe these principles would be used in a way that is appropriate to the disciplines, the art and technology disciplines. Now, one of my reasons for getting to think about this is that I have spent stressful times with other people in trying to come up with ideas or beats and proposals, and have realized that we are being asked to come up with ideas for projects where the working methods are already worked out from before we do the project. Whereas I think that there should be bids and grants that allow interdisciplinary groups and people from different disciplines to develop common methods, which, in my opinion, rely on the development of a common language, first of all, because we all come from different backgrounds and we use words or concepts in very different ways. And I have seen situations where we're just trying to sort out all sorts of problems in half an hour or in an hour on Skype, and before sort of writing the proposals, which I think is not feasible. And I have spent times worrying and being upset and negative about the fact that there are no grants to allow us to sit down and do these things slowly. But now I'm starting to think we can develop some methods which allow us to do that quickly and not have to spend a lot of time, although I don't want to completely abandon the idea that there need to be some grants that pay people to sit down and develop conversations. Now, in our table, we were discussing a few things about collaborations between artists and technologists, and at one point, Sandy said, in the first year, what did you say? In the first year, maybe we can look at the different ways people are, because dancers work differently from animators. And I said, yes, and I said, no, I don't like this, because I don't think that it is necessarily about this kind of disciplinary context. And in some cases, it has to do with the ways in which people approach things. And you might have a dancer and an animator who have the same approach, although they don't do the same thing necessarily. Therefore, it is about people having the opportunity to bring into a table the thing that they want to do, what is important for them, and to be able to articulate that so that it can be shared with other people. This is why I thought to do the following in this little workshop. I thought to split people in pairs, like you have two people, ideally one technologist and one artist, although these categories might not exist in this room, in which case we would need to do role-playing. Somebody adopting the role of an artist and the other one of a technologist, maybe. And try to discuss between you to sort of offer to the other an idea, an aim, an area that you're interested in, and to try to find some common ground between you. Now, I imagine that might sound to you too vague or too general, but maybe we can try and see what happens. In a way, I would like you to to try to explain to your partner in the pair this thing which is underneath the themes, like do I want to work with haptic technologies? I don't know, or to do site-specific choreography, or work with communities, the different things. But underneath that is not that I don't want to do haptic technologies. I just want to do them because they happen to be fashionable, or it's not really that. I want to approach the audience in a particular way. I want to achieve. So I would like you to try to share with your partner this fundamental thing that you want to, is underneath your intention to do these concrete things that we find in the world. Can you categorize yourself in one of these categories or not? So that we can create the pairs. Artist, okay.
I can do either, depending on the numbers.
On the numbers, yeah. Okay. So we have kind of four technologies that I can send to artists. What are the others? Artists? Artists? So 1, 2.
No, tech.
Tech. Okay. And other artists there.
More artists.
Okay.
Just not technology.
Artists. Okay.
I'm not either. I'm sorry.
You have to be one or the other.
I'm just the same as you. I can be
Yeah, okay.
either. I can be either,
What
but neither
about
very well.
Technology. Okay, so we've got 2 main technologists. Therefore, the 3 of you
Or artists.
I will be an artist. Yeah.
Okay. So, if all the artists come this way, so that we can sort of see, and I'm just going to randomly pair people. Okay, so you all look very engaged in this conversation, and I'm sure you can continue that after this workshop. There is nothing to stop you from kind of continuing to do that and to do it with other people. Now, can I have some comments, like what, not necessarily what you discussed, because we don't have time for that, but maybe about what happened, like how did this work? Did it work?
Yeah, I'm the technologist, yes. And what I learned from the artist is that my expectations of what they want and what they want to deliver were actually a bit off, and they were actually thinking from the opposite approach.
Yeah.
So we were actually able to find a medium because we both already had kind of an idea of what we each wanted to do. So it was pretty neat.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other comments or something? Because I'm really curious I would have liked to have recorded every single one of these conversations, because I am convinced that every single one would be a different one. Okay, because people are different human beings and they've got different ways of working through things, and these things are informed by disciplines and knowledge and what we carry in the society. But so, what other things did
I think it'd be interesting if you got artists and technology who didn't go to an event, which was inevitably a bit of a crossover between art and technology, because you can argue that inevitably all of us have an interest in merging these two together, because some of the biggest problems is from people who really don't.
Yeah.
As in art based.
But maybe these people, they shouldn't be collaborating. They should be doing their own thing. You know what I mean? It's not
but they're quite often reviewing the proposals.
Well, oh right, okay. Yeah, that is a different problem, though. That is a different problem of how to convince them. Okay, and I was thinking more about ourselves feeling more kind of real about that, rather than feeling this kind of manic panic of coming up with something that we don't even know what it is.
Another point, well, I'll just make my mouth shut up. I kind of thought was interesting that in some senses technologists are always trying to generalise our work all the time, whereas almost inevitably artists are always trying to do the opposite, making it more specific.
Yeah.
And that maybe you could see collaboration between art and technology is trying to make the general technology more specific and the art more general in some sense as kind of broad view.
I mean, that gives the idea that maybe we should have a larger workshop, you know, to try to, because that is a, you know, like an observation which you think is more general. But there will be loads of this as well, that if we have more time than 15 minutes and kind of change pairs and all of that, what kind of stuff could have come up. Anything else that it would be useful for us to know as a community?
We thought that we needed more than an artist and a technologist. We think that it's not enough.
Say again?
We think that you need more than an artist and a technologist.
Okay.
You're ignoring somebody has to use it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you mean a politician.
There are, yes. Yes.
Because then it becomes what we thought, well, because I'm not particularly an artist, is that you are creating something that's for the artist and for the technologist, but an interactive narrative is not just for the creators.
Yeah. Which you know, I try not to to start new threads, but in my own mind, I immediately think, oh, what you just said can be seen as different ways in which artists, because some artists are really interested in the audience, others are not, and that is not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's just a thing. So for those who include the audience in the performance, and including or not, or in the making, or in the thinking, yes, that bit is missing from that dialogue. But not necessarily for those that are not really, calculating this into the equation. And they're not necessarily doing bad work, the other ones, sometimes. Anything else? Any other pair?
We had a common interest in a toy.
Okay.
And weirdly, the thing I learned was that a teddy bear toy has a real heat problem. So you would have thought that. Because it's got a big battery inside it, and it's got all that fur around the outside, so how the hell do you dissipate the heat?
That's true.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have thought of that myself. I should have done, but I didn't. So is that right? I remember that.
Which is interesting, because this is such a simple, it's such a simple idea, isn't it? You don't need sort of maths to think, and despite the fact that you are a mathematician with all this background and all this work and all that, you didn't think, because we close it, into our specialism so much. I have the same. That's why
Theo would have known this because he's an engineer.
I want to talk to other people, because I get trapped in my own paradigms and obvious things which are like, we just cannot think about them. And so that's another advantage of that dialogue. Anything else? This look at the back there.
My technologist encouraged me to talk about what I really wanted to do, rather than perhaps what I thought the technologists would want to hear.
Very good. I really agree about this, because that sort of maybe a final comment that I can say from my perspective. Really, the future innovation really relies on this really deep understanding of things, and if we are sitting separately, we are living these fantasies, like I'm like, a pan that does this or that, which is some projection of what this technology can do, and then we're missing what is actually doing this technology. And similarly, the technologists or other people assume, they expect me, I'm a choreographer, I'm a performer, they go like, okay, so what will the performance be? And I say, they're not going to be performance, sorry, because there are other ways that I can inform the research. It's not like about having a la-la-la, we're jumping around in the middle of the square. That's not my role necessarily, because a choreographer is expected to create that spectacle. Choreographers are being approached in projects for that reason, and I am offended when that happens to me, because they want me to provide the spectacle. And that's not my research. My research is about subtlety, is about perception, is not about the spectacle in the middle of the square. So it's, a similar thing of how, you know, the technologists think, oh, what do you want me to do? However, I would say that a lot of technologists, I'm really glad to hear that you ask that question, because I am constantly being asked by technologists, so what would you like us to do? And I'm saying, like, I don't want you to do anything. Can we talk so that I can approach your world and understand a bit more, and then maybe we can do something. Otherwise, I don't want anything. I think maybe, unless somebody has something else to add, did you?
Do you want me to
Yes,
answer?
I don't know, yes. How was this this dialogue? What was a bit of role playing of the artist?
It was interesting for us because we've got similar kind of background.
Okay.
So,
But that's good, because you could be different though from similar backgrounds.
the thing that I take from it was quite interesting is never underestimate creativity. Because we're talking about drones.
Yes.
And what you want to do with drones is, I've never thought about that, it's great. I have no idea how you do it, but it's a good way of thinking about things in a different way, and that's quite cool.
And I was very interested in your move to the art school and your sort of hopes and expectations of that as well. And I thought that was really interesting, the way that you're moving between departments. As somebody that currently works between departments, it was interesting to hear that you were about to do what I'm currently doing.
And you know, I can imagine, because I know Sandy a little bit, and I really like the way he thinks. You know, he just says things which I cannot think myself, but they seem to kind of like capture something that solves my problem. I mean, when you, so I feel that the sort of productive collaboration can happen between people who are open to this, like just comment in relation to, you know, these people who just don't want to do anything, and unfortunately they are on the review panels, which is a different problem. But those who want, and they are excited and curious about the other field, whether that's technology or, and they see some kind of fascination in this other field and want to learn more. I am interested in allowing these particular groups to develop a dialogue so that they can use this enthusiasm and this curiosity to get into these places that, you know, we can't get in another way. And then hopefully we'll find a way for the, you know, review panels, which is another problem.